She walked into the luxury dealership wearing jeans and a navy sweatshirt, her auburn hair cascading naturally around her shoulders as she admired the gleaming vehicles. Not a single salesperson approached. When she finally expressed interest in the premium model, the salesman in the crisp blue suit held up his hand dismissively. "I'm sorry," he said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "but you clearly don't have the money for this." Little did he know, her husband's black card was about to change everything in this Chicago showroom. The morning sun streamed through the windows of Clara Bennett's lakefront apartment in downtown Chicago. At 40, Clara had the kind of grounded confidence that came from a clear sense of self. Her coppery hair was tied back into a no-fuss ponytail as she sipped her coffee and gazed over Lake Michigan. "Are you sure you don't want me to come with you?" called her husband, Henry, straightening his tie. He was the founder of a nationally renowned investment firm, having built it from scratch over the past 15 years. Clara shook her head with a knowing smile. "I've got this. You know how I feel about these things." Henry chuckled. "That's why I married you." Despite their wealth, Clara and Henry shared a minimalist approach to life. Their home was elegant yet simple, their clothes comfortable rather than flashy. For Clara, wealth was a responsibility, not a statement. Her car, however, had finally reached its last leg. The 10-year-old sedan had been reliable, but it was time. After extensive research, she found the perfect replacement, a luxury hybrid that aligned with her values. She slipped on her jeans, her Chicago sweatshirt, and a crossbody bag with Henry's rarely used black card tucked inside. Clara arrived at Prestige Auto Lounge, nestled in Chicago's opulent Gold Coast neighborhood. It was the epitome of wealth. Mirrored glass walls, polished steel, and marble floors. Her old sedan stood out in stark contrast beside luxury SUVs and sports cars. Inside, she was met with designer lighting, a faint expensive fragrance in the air, and salesmen standing in strategic positions. None of them approached. She wandered through the showroom, admiring the vehicles, lingering by a golden hybrid sedan that caught her eye. A well-dressed couple entered minutes later and were immediately greeted by two salesmen. It took nearly 15 minutes before a young salesman named Eric finally approached. "Can I help you?" he asked cautiously. Clara smiled. "Just looking for now, but I'm in a market for a new car." His tone was skeptical. "These models are a bit premium for most budgets." "I'm particularly interested in this one," Clara said, pointing to the golden hybrid. Eric raised his eyebrows. "The Olympus Sovereign? The hybrid with the extended safety package?" "That's the one," she nodded. "Can you tell me about the warranty options?" As Clara rattled off technical questions, Eric's demeanor began to change. Her knowledge was impressive, and soon he was enthusiastically discussing specs and features. Their conversation was interrupted by a senior salesman named Trent in a tailored suit. "Eric, the Rowans need help with paperwork," he said smoothly. "I'll take over." Eric hesitated. "Of course, Mr. Trent." Trent turned his attention to Clara. "I see you're interested in the Sovereign. It starts at $175,000. We have more affordable options, of course." "Actually," Clara replied, "this model suits my needs perfectly." "Interesting," he said, glancing at her jeans and sweatshirt. "Well, we can discuss financing. These vehicles require strong credit." "I'll be paying in full," Clara said. Trent's expression faltered, then quickly recovered. "Very well. Perhaps we should speak in my office. I prefer to keep looking first. I have more questions." Clara continued to ask about regenerative braking systems, interior customization, and sustainability certifications. Trent's answers grew shorter. Other salespeople had stopped pretending not to watch. "The Sovereign is more than some people's houses," Trent finally snapped. "The insurance alone." "Understand," Clara interrupted. "I'd like to proceed with the purchase." Trent raised his hand in a stopping gesture, his voice loud. "I'm sorry, but you clearly don't have the money for this. I won't waste your time." Silence fell. Clara took a breath. "That's quite an assumption, Mr. Trent." "Based on what exactly?" 15 years of experience," he said. "This vehicle is for a certain kind of client." "And you determined I wasn't that based on my appearance?" Clara asked evenly. The tension in the room was thick. "I'd like to speak with your manager." Trent smirked. "Of course. Mr. Langston will be happy to assist." Moments later, Langston arrived, echoing Trent's sentiments with more polished words. "There must have been a misunderstanding." "Not at all," Clara said. "Your associate loudly announced I couldn't afford this car, without ever asking for any financial information. If you're truly interested, I was. Until your team made it clear that appearance outweighs respect here." She opened her bag, pulling out the sleek black titanium credit card. Langston blinked. Well, of course, Miss Bennett. This car belongs to my husband, Henry Bennett. You may have heard of Bennett Capital Partners." Trent blanched. Langston's face dropped. "I'm so sorry, Miss Bennett. We had no idea." "Exactly," she said. "You had no idea, yet felt free to insult and dismiss me." As Trent fumbled for words, Clara turned to Langston. "Do you often lose customers due to assumptions? Because you just lost one." Langston begged her to stay, to offer her VIP treatment, discounts. Clara replied, "I don't need discounts. I need dignity." Eric stepped forward. "Ms. Bennett, if you're still interested, I'd be honored to help you." Clara gave him a soft smile. "Thank you, Eric, but I think we'll take our business elsewhere." As she left, she paused. "Mr. Trent, this wasn't about a car. It was about how you treat people. Maybe next time, you'll think twice." She returned to her car and texted Henry. "Enlightening. I'll tell you everything tonight." As she started the engine, Langston ran to her window. "Please reconsider. Trent has been suspended." Clara responded gently. "The problem wasn't just him. No one approached me for 15 minutes. That's culture, not just one man." That afternoon, her phone rang. "Ms. Bennett, this is Laura from Lakeside Motors. Your husband said you might be looking for a new vehicle." "Perfect timing, Laura. I am. We believe in treating everyone with the same respect, no matter what they wear." Clara smiled. "That's what I like to hear. I'm interested in the Sovereign, preferably in gold." The next day, Clara walked into Lakeside Motors, where she was greeted warmly, treated respectfully, and offered tea before even mentioning a model. The same golden Sovereign sat gleaming under showroom lights. 1 week later, Clara pulled into her driveway. Henry emerged, beaming. "It's beautiful," he said, "but not nearly as beautiful as the woman driving it." She laughed, kissed him, and replied, "Thanks for the card, but I think I made the real impression." A month later, she received an email from Eric, the young salesman. He had been hired by Lakeside Motors. "Thank you," the message read. "You reminded me why treating people with dignity matters." Clara smiled, looking out her car. It gleamed like a trophy, not of wealth, but of quiet strength. Because true value, she knew, has nothing to do with appearances and everything to do with how we treat one another.